James Franklin Shepard, fireman second class. Got transferred out of that then into engineering, and I wound up being the engineer on a 50-foot motor launch. I never was anywhere on the Hector or any other ship where there was a fire going on, but I don't know, I guess they decided we was engineers or something like that, and I got the fireman rating that way, and I spent a good deal of time I spent several months as an engineer on a 50-foot motor launch till the motor machinist mate that was the guy that looked over the engine compartment of these motor launches and was a member of the crew that if there was a problem with the engine, they could either rebuild it there in the engine compartment on the motor launch, or they could hoist the launch aboard ship up on the boat deck of the Hector and take the engine out and take it down to the repair shop where they could take it down to the last nut and bolt and overhaul it, and then get it back up there and back in the motor launch. He took exception to me following the orders from coxswain there, and I did run the engine above the 1300 RPMs that we'd been told was top speed for reverse gear. I think the engine would run it if we were going forward somewhere, like we were headed into the beach from the ship way. I think top speed it's either 1900 RPM or 2000. But for some reason or other, I've never been able to understand it, is this engine would actually run at about 2100, 2200 RPM. But for these different, like either forward up to either 1900 or 2000 RPM or reverse gear 1300. Why they had that rule, I've got no idea. But when the coxswain back there, or the boatswain mate third class, called him a coxswain, when he rang the bells up there, is either 1 bell, 2 bells, 3 bells, or 4. And I think, well, when he started the engine, you get 1 bell, and that was forward. 2 bells was neutral. 3 bells was reverse. 4 bells was full speed. And from the boom on the ship where we was tied up, when we wasn't doing anything other than maybe cleaning the deck of the motor launch and wiping the engine down or something like that, we was tied up there. But when they called away the launch to go somewhere in it, where we had to make the landing, the ladder going up aboard ship, the little dock, you might say there. When they called the motor launch away, we made the landing there. And this morning, we was making the landing, and I got 3 bells, so I put it reverse. And then I got 4 bells, and I run it up to the 1300 RPM. And we were actually overshooting this little landing. And the coxswain gave me 4 bells. Well, I run it up to the 1900 RPM. At least I think that's where I got it to. And we backed down, tied up the little dock there, and motor machinist mate come down, inspected the engine compartment, and then told me I was on report. And he'd see me when we went up in front of the old man. And he went back aboard ship. Well, got up in front of the captain. Why, he's filling the captain in on what he'd brought me up there for. And I don't remember whether I got any restriction out of that or whether they immediately put me on mess cooking. I run the engine too fast in reverse gear. They had this ruling, for whatever reason, that reverse gear, 1300 RPM, that was full speed astern. Regardless of what the captain, or what the coxswain back here, which, well, he was the captain of that motor launch, and me and the other crew member on that motor launch, we had to do what he told us to do. And when he rang them 4 bells and I didn't immediately give him more throttle, why, he really rang that bell 4 times and yelled at me. Oh, okay. I'll give him a few more 100 RPM. And this motor machinist mate up there, he didn't appreciate that.